Let me just first give a shout out to Max Kelderman over at ESPN, because you know what? It's not every day that I agree with you guys, but I agree with you guys on this. And today, just very briefly, I want to talk about the loss from the Patriots to the Miami Dolphins. The Patriots yesterday lost 28-24, or is it 27-24, to the Miami Dolphins yesterday. And what was on the line for the Patriots? Well, let's talk about that for just a second. What was on the line for the Patriots was a first-round bye in the AFC playoffs, okay? The first-round bye in the playoffs, and that's super important. Why? It gives your team an extra week to rest. You get 2 weeks to rest. You don't play the rest of the week this week. You don't play next week. You get a chance to come in. Plus, you're automatically in the championship, or in the divisional round. You get to skip the wild card round. Wild card teams have a disadvantage because they have to play next week. They don't get a bye. They don't get a chance to rest and recuperate. And all this time, the Patriots in the AFC East have always had the advantage because they get that bye. And so when you face the Patriots team traditionally, and I say traditionally, meaning over the past 15, 20 years, when you face the Patriots, you are facing a team that has a first-round bye in the playoffs. Not this time. They lost to a Miami Dolphins team that only won 5 games this year. And I got to give their coach credit. He was a Bill Belichick disciple, as they called him. And he went out and he outclassed Belichick. Now, some people blame the coach. Some people blame the defense. And the Patriots have some great defenders. They got Stephon Gilmore. They got the McCourties, plural. Both brothers are playing for the Patriots. And they got, several other key guys there. But I've said this before, and I will say it again, and I will continue saying it until the day he retires. Tom Brady is past his prime. He has done more than any QB in the NFL. It is time for him to put up those boots, hang up that helmet, and go. When you can't produce at the level that you are used to producing at, time in and time out consistently, when you can't continue to play at a high level week in and week out, there is only so much protecting that the coaches and the coordinators and the offensive line and the running game and the defense can do. You have to be an elite level quarterback day in and day out. Mr. Brady, your eliteness has passed. It is time for you to go. It's time. And listen, everybody knows that anybody who's ever studied up on the Patriots knows the problems between Chris Kraft and Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Everybody knows the Garoppolo story.
RESTPAM.
Right? Everybody, okay, in case you don't know. So, in 2018, the Patriots, Bill Belichick drafted Jimmy Garoppolo, who now plays for not Minnesota, but San Francisco, and who's doing very well for himself, by the way.
A new version of Restream Chat is available. Restream Chat 2.5 install button. Later button to activate enter. Restream Chat. Lag escape search email. Heading level 5 login. Email. Lag edit. DDOLES at MSFUCOF. Password edit. Type in text.
1 second.
Start. Restream Chat. Link create account. Login button to add enter. Protected by reCAPTCHA privacy firms group box. %. Protected by reCAPTCHA private type of message edit. Escape. Type of method labeled 0 button blank. The chat is waiting for new messages.
Okay. So when you are, and this is my thing about all this, when you are, as old as Tom Brady was at the time, I think he was like 39, 40 years old. Okay. So Tom Brady decides that he's going to stay around for another year. There's this big whole commotion in the locker room. All right, there's this big whole commotion in the locker room with the Patriots and all these things about how it's time for Tom Brady to take a back seat and mentor this young kid coming out of college. And Bill Belichick, the Patriot way is, I want to get someone who I can be secure in the future. Belichick felt at the time that Brady was not the answer to his problems in the future, because Belichick knew, as everyone else did, as we all did, as Patriots fans I'm sure knew, as all of us who are not Patriots fans knew, Belichick knew that it was time for Brady to get ready to move on, and he didn't want to have to rely on Brady 5-10 years down the road. So he thought, well, I want to draft this young kid, Garoppolo. I like his style. I'm going to have Brady mentor him, and then when Brady hangs up the helmet, hangs up the uniform. I'm going to have a quarterback that I can invest and build my team around, and we're going to still be the great Patriots team that we are today. That didn't happen. What happened was that Chris Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, pulled Bill Belichick into a meeting and told him under no uncertain terms, you are going to trade Garoppolo because Garoppolo is not the future to this franchise. Tom Brady is. Oh, I can imagine the argument, because that meeting went on for 11 hours. I can't imagine the arguments, the swearing, the cursing, the fighting, the throwing. I mean, I bet it was an all-out Donnybrook in that locker room from the time that meeting started till the time that meeting ended. Why? Because Brady is insecure about his position. He is jealously covetous of that position, and he doesn't want to give it up. So what happens? At the end of it all, Belichick, being Belichick, decides that he's going to trade Jimmy Garoppolo, and now he's going to have to face Garoppolo, assuming, of course, he gets by the Titans, assuming, of course, he gets by whoever he has to play next, and he gets by whoever he has to play next. He's got 3 teams he's got to face. So what I'd really like to see in the Super Bowl, if my Titans or the Texans don't make it, is I want to see a Garoppolo versus Brady matchup, and I want to see Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and the New England Patriots get their butts kicked up and down every side of the field. I don't want to see them lose by 1. I don't want to see them lose by some miraculous, dramatic finish. I want the 49ers, if it comes to that, to wipe the field, to wipe Miami Field with them up and down every side of that stadium. You know why? Because it's high time that somebody gave the Patriots their just desserts. It's as simple as that. Belichick, you should have stuck with Garoppolo. Garoppolo has been on fire lately, and you don't think with the talent that you had on the offensive side of the ball that he would have been great? Oh, no. I believe it was a friendly trade. I believe it was very negotiable. I have no doubt about that. But if you think for 1 second that sticking with Brady past his prime, as far past his prime that he is, was the right decision, you got another thing coming. And you know what? It's going to start this coming next Saturday when my Titans play you guys. Yes, we're on your home field, but you know what? Home field advantage ain't everything, because if I've learned anything from last week, you all had home field advantage too, and you couldn't even hold that against a team that only won 5 games this year. You have a Titans team coming in here highly motivated after giving the Texans a good thumping. No offense meant to anybody who's a Texans fan, but Derrick Henry is back to full strength. The O-line was pushing blockers back, pushing defenders off the line of scrimmage like you wouldn't believe. A.J. Brown is coming into his own, and I'm saying is coming into his own as a star wide receiver. Tannehill's been off the charts. They even let Marcus Mariota get into it for a play. So if you think for 1 second that you're just going to come in here and do what you normally do, Belichick, I got to tell you something. You're going to be in for the fight of your life next week, because this Titans team is hungry. You know what? Come to think of it, even if you do beat the Titans, you still have the Texans. You potentially have the Chiefs to deal with. There is a lot of people that's going to be coming after you, because they want to topple you, Belichick. Maybe you've realized that for the past 5 years or not, I don't know. But there's a lot of people that want to put you in your place, and it ain't at the top of the NFL anymore. You want to be at the top of the NFL, and I'm going to end with this. You want to be at the top of the NFL? Here's what you do. You get rid of that dinosaur Tom Brady, and you invest in yourself, and maybe like a Joe Burrow, someone fresh out of winning every possible college award that you could possibly win out of LSU. You want to give your team a chance to be great? You go get someone who's at the top of his game as a rookie in Joe Burrow. You go get someone who's at the top of his game as a rookie like Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson. That's what the Texans did when they got Deshaun Watson, and look at where they are right now.
The chat is waiting for new messages. Ops 24 point start recording checkbox not checked.